Are you approaching 80 or already there, wondering why your body and life feel so different lately? Here's the truth. 6 specific changes happen to everyone at this age, whether you like it or not. These aren't opinions or possibilities. They're medical facts confirmed by leading health institutions across America. I'm going to show you exactly what these changes are and give you simple, proven steps to handle each one successfully. But here's what concerns me most. One of these changes is silently putting you at serious risk right now, and most people ignore it until it's too late. Stay with me, because what you learn in the next few minutes could determine whether you thrive or struggle through your 80s. Vivian from Phoenix turned 81 last spring and woke up one morning feeling off in ways she couldn't quite explain. Within 3 months, she noticed all 6 changes we're about to discuss happening in her own life. Her daughter helped her understand what was really going on, and Vivian made simple adjustments that completely transformed her daily routine and gave her back the confidence she thought she'd lost forever. Change 1. Your sleep architecture completely transforms. Your sleep isn't just lighter at 80, it's fundamentally restructured at a biological level. Johns Hopkins sleep researchers have confirmed that by age 80, your deep sleep decreases by 60 to 80% compared to your younger years. This isn't about being a light sleeper or waking up occasionally. Your brain literally spends less time in the restorative stages of sleep that repair your body and consolidate memories. The sleep cycles that once refreshed you for the next day are now fragmented and shallow. You might lie in bed for 8 hours, but only get 4 hours of actual restorative sleep. This change happens gradually, which is why many people don't realize how severe it's become until the damage is already affecting their health. Howard, 82, from Dallas, was sleeping only 4 to 5 hours each night and waking up exhausted every single morning. He thought this was just normal aging, until his doctor explained that chronic shallow sleep was contributing to his memory problems and frequent infections. The consequences of poor sleep at 80 go far beyond feeling tired. Research from Harvard Medical School shows that inadequate deep sleep accelerates cognitive decline, weakens your immune system, and increases your risk of falls, because your body never fully recovers each night. Your brain needs deep sleep to clear out toxic proteins that build up during the day. Without it, these proteins accumulate and damage brain cells. Your immune system also repairs itself during deep sleep, so when you don't get enough, you become vulnerable to every virus and infection that comes your way. Here's what you need to do immediately. Create a strict sleep schedule where you go to bed and wake up at exactly the same time every single day, even on weekends. Your body craves consistency at this age. Avoid all screens for at least 2 hours before bedtime, because the blue light disrupts your already fragile sleep hormones. Keep your bedroom temperature between 65 and 68 degrees Fahrenheit. Studies show this specific range promotes the deepest sleep possible. Make your room as dark as possible using blackout curtains or an eye mask. Even small amounts of light can prevent your brain from producing the sleep hormones you desperately need. If you wake up during the night, don't lie there frustrated. Get up, sit in a chair with dim lighting, and return to bed only when you feel drowsy again. Start these changes tonight because your brain health depends on it. Every night of poor sleep is another night your brain can't clean itself properly. Don't wait until memory problems become obvious or until your doctor tells you something is seriously wrong. The sooner you fix your sleep, the better your chances of maintaining sharp thinking and good health through your 80s and beyond. Change 2. Your social circle shrinks dramatically, and that's dangerous. Have you noticed your phone rings less often than it used to? By age 80, your social world naturally becomes smaller, but the speed and extent of this change catches most people completely off guard. Harvard research shows that adults over 80 lose an average of 65% of their social connections due to friends passing away, moving to care facilities, or becoming too ill to maintain regular contact. Your spouse might be gone. Your siblings might be dealing with their own health crises. Your children and grandchildren are busy with their own demanding lives. Suddenly, days can pass where you don't have a meaningful conversation with another human being. This isn't about being antisocial or unlikable. It's a structural reality of reaching your 80s. The generation you grew up with is disappearing, and younger generations operate on different schedules and communication styles. Lorraine, 80, from Atlanta, realized one day that she hadn't spoken to anyone besides her doctor in 2 full weeks. She had stopped calling friends because she didn't want to be a burden, and they had stopped calling her because they assumed she was busy or resting. The medical consequences of social isolation at 80 are genuinely frightening. Research from the University of California shows that social isolation increases your dementia risk by 50% and raises your mortality risk by an amount equivalent to smoking 15 cigarettes every single day. When you're isolated, your brain literally shrinks faster. You lose language skills because you're not using them. You lose the mental stimulation that comes from conversations and different perspectives. Your stress hormones stay elevated because you have no one to talk to about your worries and fears. The solution is simpler than you think, but you must be intentional about it. Schedule one social interaction every single day without exception. This doesn't mean hosting dinner parties or going to crowded events. A 10-minute phone call with a relative counts. A video chat with a grandchild counts. A brief conversation with a neighbor counts. Joining a senior center for an hour counts. The key is daily contact with another human being, where you have a real back-and-forth conversation. Don't wait for people to reach out to you. You must take the initiative now. Call someone from your past you've lost touch with. Join an online community for your age group. Attend a religious service or community event once a week. These small actions create a structure that prevents the dangerous spiral of isolation. Loneliness at your age is a medical emergency that develops slowly and quietly. Reach out to someone today, not next week or when you feel like it. Make that call right now before you forget or talk yourself out of it. Your brain health and your longevity depend on maintaining human connections every single day. Change 3. Your balance system fails. Falls become your greatest threat. At 80, your risk of a life-threatening fall jumps by 400% compared to just a decade earlier. This isn't exaggeration or fear-mongering. It's data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention. Your inner ear, which controls balance, deteriorates significantly after 80. Your muscle strength decreases, making it harder to catch yourself when you stumble. Your vision changes, affecting depth perception. Your reflexes slow down dramatically. Most importantly, your bones become brittle, meaning that falls, which would have bruised you at 60 now, cause fractures that require surgery and months of recovery. The CDC reports that 1 in 3 adults over 80 falls each year, and 20% of these falls cause serious injuries like broken hips or head trauma. These aren't minor accidents. They're life-changing events that often end independent living permanently. Stanley, 83, from Boston fell while reaching for a coffee cup on a high shelf and broke his hip in 3 places. He spent 6 weeks in a rehabilitation facility and never fully recovered his independence or his confidence to move around his own home. The fear of falling again became so intense that he stopped doing activities he loved, which led to further muscle weakness and an even higher risk of future falls. This is the vicious cycle that traps so many people in their 80s. One fall leads to fear, fear leads to inactivity, and inactivity leads to weakness that causes another fall. Breaking this cycle requires immediate action before the first fall happens, not after. Here's exactly what you need to do this week. Remove every single loose rug, cord, and obstacle from your walking paths at home. Install grab bars in your bathroom next to the toilet and inside the shower. These cost less than $50 and take an hour to install, but they prevent thousands of bathroom falls every year. Wear non-slip shoes or slippers inside your house at all times. Your socks or bare feet on smooth floors are a recipe for disaster. Get your vision checked because even small changes in eyesight can cause dangerous misjudgments about distances and steps. Use a cane without shame or embarrassment if you feel even slightly unsteady. A cane is not a sign of weakness. It's a tool that keeps you independent and safe. Make sure your home is well lit, especially hallways and staircases. Consider using night lights in every room so you can see clearly if you need to get up at night. Foolproof your home this week because your independence is literally on the line. Don't think it won't happen to you because the statistics say it probably will. Take action now while you're still steady and capable, not after a fall has already stolen your confidence and mobility. Change. 4. Your appetite vanishes, but malnutrition creeps in silently. Are meals feeling more like a chore than a pleasure these days? By 80, your sense of taste decreases by up to 60%, making food bland and unappetizing. Your sense of smell, which is closely tied to appetite, also deteriorates significantly. You might not feel hungry, even when your body desperately needs nutrition. Your stomach empties more slowly, making you feel full after just a few bites. Dental problems can make chewing difficult or painful. All of these factors combine to create a dangerous situation where you're simply not eating enough to maintain your health. The Mayo Clinic reports that 1 in 2 adults over 80 suffer from malnutrition, often without realizing it, because the weight loss happens gradually. You look in the mirror and think you look fine, but your body is slowly running out of the protein, vitamins and calories it needs to function properly. Judith from Seattle lost 15 pounds over 3 months simply because food didn't taste good anymore and eating felt like too much effort. She didn't think it was a big deal until she became too weak to carry her groceries and noticed her clothes hanging loosely on her shrinking frame. Malnutrition at 80 leads directly to muscle wasting, which makes you weaker and more vulnerable to falls. It slows wound healing, meaning even small cuts can become infected. It accelerates cognitive decline because your brain needs constant nutrition to function. It weakens your immune system, making every cold or flu potentially dangerous. Most frighteningly, malnutrition can happen even if you're overweight, because it's not about the quantity of food, but the quality and variety of nutrients your body receives. The solution requires changing your entire approach to eating. Stop trying to eat 3 large meals each day. Instead, eat 5 or 6 small meals spread throughout the day. Your stomach handles smaller amounts much better at this age. Add protein powder to milk, juice, or smoothies to boost your protein intake without having to eat large portions of meat. Keep your favorite snacks visible and easily accessible so you can grab them whenever you pass by. Don't worry about eating perfectly healthy foods if they don't appeal to you. Eating something is better than eating nothing. Make meals more flavorful by using herbs and spices liberally. Your decreased sense of taste needs stronger flavors to register properly. Consider keeping easy, ready-to-eat foods like yogurt, cheese, crackers, and canned soups on hand for days when cooking feels overwhelming. Your physical strength depends entirely on what you eat today, not what you ate last month. Don't skip meals or convince yourself you're not hungry. Set alarms on your phone reminding you to eat if necessary. Eat now, while you still have the strength to feed yourself independently. Change 5. Your brain processing speed slows. Decisions become harder. That mental fog you've been feeling, it's real, measurable, and affects everyone who reaches 80. Research from Stanford University shows that cognitive processing speed decreases by 30 to 40% after age 80. This doesn't mean you're becoming senile or developing dementia. Your knowledge and wisdom remain intact. But the speed at which your brain processes information, makes decisions, and switches between tasks slows down dramatically. Think of it like a computer with a slower processor. All the files and programs are still there, but everything takes longer to open and run. You might find yourself standing in a store aisle, feeling overwhelmed by too many choices. You might read a paragraph 3 times before absorbing it. You might struggle to follow conversations when multiple people are talking at once. Gerald, 82, from Chicago, started feeling overwhelmed by simple choices like which bills to pay first or which insurance plan to select during open enrollment. Tasks that used to take him minutes now took hours because he had to think through every step multiple times. This slower processing speed makes you vulnerable in ways that go beyond frustration. You become an easier target for scams because you can't quickly identify suspicious requests or high-pressure tactics. You risk making medication errors because instructions that seem simple are actually complex when your brain is processing slowly. You can make dangerous decisions about money or legal matters because you're not catching the details that your younger self would have noticed immediately. Here's how to protect yourself starting today. Write absolutely everything down on paper or in a notebook you keep with you at all times. Your memory and processing speed work much better when you can see information visually rather than trying to hold it in your head. Make all important decisions in the morning when your brain is sharpest after sleep. Never make significant decisions when you're tired, hungry, or stressed. Ask for help without hesitation or embarrassment whenever you're dealing with anything important. Finances, medical decisions, legal documents, or unfamiliar technology. Having another trusted person review your decisions catches errors before they become serious problems. Simplify your life by reducing the number of choices you have to make each day. Eat the same breakfast every morning. Pay bills on the same day each month. Create routines that require less mental energy. Protect yourself right now while you still have the awareness to recognize this change. Your safety and financial security depend on acknowledging that your brain works differently now and adjusting your life accordingly. Change. 6. Your medical needs multiply. Healthcare becomes a full-time job. Are you seeing more doctors than friends these days? Johns Hopkins data shows that adults over 80 take an average of 7 different medications and attend more than 12 doctor appointments annually. This isn't because you're particularly sick, it's because managing health at 80 requires constant attention and coordination. You might see a cardiologist for your heart, an endocrinologist for your thyroid, an orthopedist for your joints, a primary care doctor for overall health, and specialists for your eyes and hearing. Each doctor prescribes different medications that may interact with each other. Each appointment requires transportation, paperwork, and follow-up. The sheer logistics of managing your healthcare become overwhelming and confusing. Beatrice, 80, from Miami, was taking 9 different medications, but couldn't remember which were for what condition or when she was supposed to take each one. She accidentally took her evening medication twice and skipped her morning medication completely because she lost track. The consequences of medication confusion are severe. The CDC reports that medication errors lead to more than 100,000 hospitalizations yearly in seniors over 80. Taking the wrong dose can cause serious side effects. Missing doses can cause your conditions to worsen. Taking medications at the wrong times can make them ineffective. Drug interactions between multiple medications can cause dangerous reactions that land you in the emergency room. Here's your action plan starting immediately. Create a single-page medication list on paper that includes every medication you take, the dose, the time you take it, and what it's for. Keep this list with you at all times and bring it to every doctor appointment. Use a weekly pill organizer with compartments for each day and time of day. Fill it once a week so you can see at a glance whether you've taken your medications. Bring a trusted person, a family member or close friend, to every medical appointment to take notes and ask questions. You cannot remember everything the doctor says, especially when you're stressed or receiving difficult news. Keep all your medications in one designated spot in your home, never scattered across different rooms. This prevents confusion and makes it easier to keep track of what you have. Organize your medication system today because your life literally depends on getting this right. One small error can cascade into a medical crisis. Don't wait until confusion causes a dangerous mistake. Set up your system now while you're thinking clearly. These 6 changes are inevitable facts of reaching 80, but they don't have to control or diminish your life. Better sleep through consistent schedules, daily social connections through intentional outreach. Fall prevention through home modifications, proper nutrition through frequent small meals, mental protection through written notes and help from others, and organized healthcare through simple systems. These aren't complicated solutions requiring money or special skills. They're practical steps you can implement today that keep you thriving through your 80s and beyond. If you're experiencing any of these changes right now, drop a comment and tell me which one hit home hardest. You're not alone in this, and your story might help someone else feel less isolated. Share this video immediately with another senior who needs to prepare for these changes before they become overwhelming. And if you want more straightforward health advice you can actually use in your daily life, subscribe right now and turn on notifications so you don't miss future videos that could make the difference between struggling and thriving in your later years.